Owen Moon is the CEO of Fixed Ops Digital, and he is part of the trendsetters in fixed ops that are putting and shining a new light on the opportunities in service and parts and being able to offer that at your dealerships. Owen Moon, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hey Ted, how you doing? Great to be back. I know it's been a little bit, but excited to be back today. Great show so far.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Now, you're coming to us from somewhere special because I have not seen this look before, Owen Moon.
Yeah, my brand new studio, still a work in progress, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Super excited for it. Obviously, when COVID hit, I spent a lot of time working out of my house, and just felt like it was time to kind of change things up. So, been great coming here and
Okay.
doing interviews and podcasts and things out of here, and more to come. So.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to have a lot of content coming our way from Fixed Ops Digital. So we are excited to see that. Owen, we are excited to hear what you've got to share with us today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take it away.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks. Let me get my screen going here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. As Ted said, I'm the CEO of Fixed Ops Digital. We're automotive's premier service and marketing technology company, and we're super excited for what we're doing to help our dealerships. We just went over 750 dealerships throughout the nation, also up in Canada. And so today, what I want to talk a little bit about is what I'm calling connectivity and how it can power your online service marketing. So I can't get excited as totally does, but I tried here a little bit. Let's be honest, right? Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to pay for service. Why do I say that, right? Because as you guys know, and most of you guys are in the trenches that are on this show today, or watching either or participating, you're in the trenches every day, and you know that when a customer comes in to work with you, it's usually a friction point, right? They're coming in because they have a problem. And unfortunately, that problem didn't start that day. That problem probably started a week ago, 2 weeks ago, heck, maybe even a month or two ago. And it's finally gotten to the point that they have to get something done with it, right? So you're always in a position to talk to a customer when they're not happy, right? When there's something wrong and now they're looking for you to solve that problem. Why do I bring that up? Because there's some things that I think you can do to really help, with that whole first interaction with the customer, right? So the first thing that I would say is, how do we make the service experience better? So number one is always communication, right? You want to make sure that you're communicating with that customer in a manner that is non-confrontational, that's soothing, that just basically gives them a positive first interaction with your dealership. Next thing is set expectations, right? And then within that is meet expectations. We want to make sure that, hey, we're going to let customers know exactly what's going to happen, and then obviously meet those expectations once you set them. And then the last thing is, let's fix the customer issue the first time. Now, the reason why I bring these four up is I see a lot of changes in how customers are behaving, right? Customers are constantly giving bad reviews, bad CSI scores, things like that. And it's usually one of these four things. We either aren't communicating, we either aren't setting the expectations of what's going to happen during their visit that day. Maybe we're not even meeting those expectations, which obviously maybe we do deserve a bad review at that point. And obviously we want to make sure we fix the customer's problem the first time. Like I said, it's not their first time they've had this issue, and now they're turning around and they're hoping that we can help solve that. Here's the thing. All of this happens when you're at the dealership. So it's while the customer is there. Well, obviously we're a marketing firm, so we always look at things from a little different lens. We look at things from a marketing lens. So what are some of the things that we could do to help maybe alleviate some of that friction before that customer gets to your dealership, right? So the first thing that we talk about, and I've talked about this a lot, is we want to create an environment on your website where we're providing customers with information, education, and recommendations about the different services that your dealership offers prior to them getting there. If customers know what to expect before they actually get to the dealership, it goes a long way in how those communication engagements happen with those customers and with your dealership. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? What can you do? Well, the first thing you should do is make sure that you're marketing more services on your website. We call it with our clients the service menu page. The reason why is that we've taken the specials page and we've brought it from just, hey, a $10 off coupon or a 10% off coupon on something, and we've moved it more into what we call a menu style page. It's really focusing on more services, right? General services like oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, all the way to late ownership services, which could be tires, brakes, transmissions, anything that's going to be a little bit higher RO, it's going to cost a little more money. These are definitely services that we want to get out on your website and make sure that we're giving customers information about that. The next thing that I want to talk about is really kind of ties into this as well, but it's talking about highlighting more of those services, but also making sure that you're, having pricing transparency. Long gone are the days of people looking for $10 off coupons. I'm not saying they want to overspend on service. Obviously, nobody wants to do that.
Right.
But with lack of information, customers will move on to find the information they're looking for. So if you have a $10 off an oil change coupon on your website, chances are that customer doesn't know what that means. I mean, are you twice as expensive and now you're $10 off? That's still not a value to the customer. So what we talk about all the time is pricing transparency. More times than not, unless it's a spend and save or something along those lines that warrants a little different strategy, we want to make sure that we're showcasing price. As you can see here, the coupon here, or the offer here on the left, this 4-wheel alignment, is $129.95, where the one on the right is 10% off a service. With big data, with a lot of customers, 750 plus customers, we get a lot of big data. And one thing that we really found was that 30% on average is the increase in engagements that we see with our dealers when they put a price over a discount or a percentage off. So what is an engagement? Like, what does that mean, right? 30% increase engagements. Okay, big deal, Owen. What does that mean? Well, engagements lead to appointments, right? So some of the engagements that we really focus on are schedule service, click to call, save to phone, obviously, kind of working with that mobile customer. So instead of printing coupons, they're actually saving offers into their phone. And then learn more. Learn more is sort of the online service shopping funnel that we've created, where if a customer comes on your website and they're looking for a 4-wheel alignment, but they don't know that much about it, we can actually kind of use the content that we build for that alignment to let customers dive a little deeper into that particular service. All of this is what builds trust, right? All of this is what gives your dealership the authority in the market. And that's going to go a long ways when they're actually at your store, ready to have to do that service or to work with your service team. And the last thing I want to talk about is really the most important, and it's something that we've really dove deep into, and we're excited about where we're going with this. And that is to create consistency across multiple digital channels. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the sales side as sort of the benchmark, right? When we created what they call an inventory management software, a lot of different companies out there are doing this. It really changed how dealerships advertise for variable marketing, right? For their vehicle side, the sales side of the business. Because what ended up happening now is you were able to move inventory across different platforms. Imagine having to take 300 used cars, manually download them into your website, and then turning around and trying to manually download them onto a third-party site like cars.com, or manually trying to get them into to Carfax. None of that wouldn't happen. So inventory management really changed the game when it came to how dealerships advertise their sales side of the business, right? You can now move inventory from your website to cars.com, to Carfax, even Google and social media. It makes it a lot easier to be able to advertise. So it completely changed how dealerships use digital marketing to advertise their vehicles. Well, we're taking that same strategy or that same problem, and we're meeting it head on with our specials management software. We call it Drive Service Specials, but what it's basically doing is it's allowing us to be able to push information around the internet to make sure that we can expand into other areas. So for example, let's say you're advertising 12, 15, maybe 18 services on your website. We can now push that to companies like Sunbit and Dignify and work with them to make sure that customers know that they can use repair financing, even X Time or what some of the other service schedulers out there. But most importantly, it allows us to be able to also push that information to digital marketing platforms like Google, Facebook, even Instagram. So the nice thing about that is that it also creates consistency, right? And here's what I mean. Let's say, for example, we were advertising a $39.95 oil change on Facebook. What we would want is we would want that customer to engage with that ad and then come over to the website, and there they see that exact same $39.95 oil change. Take it a step further, and if they decided they wanted to schedule service, we would want them to be able to go into the scheduler and also see that service for $39.95. It is more important than ever on the service side of the business to have pricing consistency. The reason why is because, again, taking it to the beginning of what I was talking about, there's a lot of friction. And the last thing you want to do is create more friction by having a 10% off coupon on Facebook, a $39.95 oil change on your website, and a $59.95 oil change in your scheduler. All that's going to do is continue to create friction with your customer, and it will not build trust. And, ultimately it might allow them to leave and move to a different company, whether it's a Jiffy Lube or maybe another dealership down the road. So ultimately, that's what we're trying to accomplish is we're as we are building out our software and we're continuing to work with more dealers. This is becoming a much bigger part of our strategy, as well as the strategy of the customers. And they're seeing the results. They're seeing increase in ROs. They're seeing more appointments. And more importantly, they're seeing higher dollar amounts. They're seeing customer pay revenue increase, across the board. So, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you guys are taking some of this and applying it into your strategies. Obviously, if you need help, we're always here to help you guys as well. So with that, Ted, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Owen, I've got to tell you that Fixed Ops Digital, your stuff is beautiful. I mean, the look, the feel of everything you've got going there, and over 750 dealers use Fixed Ops Digital. So many here at the Roundtable, and the level of professionalism, you've just elevated the whole game. You got us looking at putting service and parts online when nobody was even thinking of that. And one more word I want to add is the word transparency. The fact that you've got the $39.90 or whatever the price is going to be of that oil change online. And yes, like you said, the consistency all the way across. That's so important because being transparent with a consumer is really important.
Yeah, and Ted, you would know more than anybody, in a lot of cases, because that's what you guys train on, right? When you guys go into the stores, you're training on, how to work with those customers and that type of thing. And I see more. I mean, let's be honest, in the economy that we're living in, customers are volatile. They're not happy. It's more volatility than I've ever seen. And so, why not help on the front end with marketing? And I know that's we're the front end, right? We're the start of this relationship with customers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got to carry that all the way through into the service lounge, into the service bays, and then ultimately, when you're finished, with that service or with that, resolving that issue that customer has. But we're just trying to do our part. That's why we're constantly thinking outside the box and trying to figure out ways to, really help our dealerships, market that side of the business. So.
And everybody, Fixed Ops Digital provides you all the tools and the integrations. You just saw a couple examples like the Sunbit integration, things that are so critical to being able to let your customers know that you've got available at your dealership. So consumers are starting the process online. You need to be online. You need to speak with Owen Moon at Fixed Ops Digital. Owen, what is the best way for our audience, if they're not already a client of yours, to reach out with their questions?
Yeah, you can email me directly, Owen at fixedopsdigital.com. My direct cell phone is 605-376-0195. And you can text me, call me. I'm always available. I spend most of my life either on email or on this phone. So I'm pretty used to it. So yeah, give me a shout. I mean, even if just to ask a question, get a little information, we'd love to at least start that conversation. We really pride ourselves as being a good partner for our dealers. And, that's why we have, low churn, and we really feel like, we're we're leading the charge here, and we're going to continue to do so. So.
They are a great partner, everybody. The premier marketing agency for Fixed Ops. Owen Moon, the CEO of Fixed Ops Digital, with us here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted.